I would like to introduce you to my top 5 YouTube channels for insights and analysis on the war in Ukraine. You may have found these, you may have seen some of their videos, perhaps you're already a subscriber, but if you're not, I highly encourage you to check out these channels and do subscribe and do lean into their content. I do find all of them to be very valuable and very insightful and very committed to continuing to keep us updated and really see the bigger picture of what's playing out on the global stage in terms of geopolitics and economics. To give you some context of why I'm making this video, I am a creator on TikTok and I have a channel, Kung Fu Pippa, that is entirely dedicated to supporting Ukraine. However, as I am launching my channel on YouTube, my initial intention was to also create content about what's happening and realizing that I'm not perhaps at this time as a new creator, someone who is best equipped to do that analysis or have that information or that insight. And so I thought the best place for me to start is just by highlighting the channels and creators that I think are doing it incredibly well. And people who I'm a fan of. Not only am I a fan of their insights and analysis, but just as creators, there are people that I aim to role model. They have channels that have grown year over year. They're very committed to creating content. They're very committed to providing consistent value. I just find their insights to be thoughtful and on point. So I wanted to take a moment here in this video to introduce them all to you. And again, invite you to check out their videos, perhaps subscribe to their channels if they resonate with you as much as they do with me. So the first channel I want to recommend is Times Radio. They actually also are new to TikTok. So if you're over there, you can also follow Times Radio on TikTok. But on YouTube, they have been around for a while and just have very timely updates and insights and interviews, and just highly recommend Times Radio. They do a really good job, and I have just heard so many interviews that I just hear them and my feeling is nailed it. And just so much history and context that we may not have considered that I think is just enormously valuable. The next one is Jake Bro. Now, Jake has a channel that I have watched evolve basically since 2021. He started his channel in 2019, talking a lot about finance, credit, his life in the military, and has now become a full-time creator. And I just really admire his journey, his path, and his ability to take us behind the scenes of how he's grown his channel and just being really transparent about his life as a creator, his life as a trader, and in the stock market. And he's just someone I enjoy his content. He's currently studying international relations for a master's degree, and he has come up with some well-researched, timely, thoughtful, good content that I have enjoyed about the current conflict. And I think he is a really good source of content. Again, someone I admire and who has been a role model for me as I am launching my channel. Similarly, I very much like Joe Blogs. I think Joe does an excellent job of giving us geopolitical insights into just what's playing out on a global stage. He is quite good, and he also is someone who he has great visuals in his videos, but sometimes I just enjoy listening to him. So if I'm not actually in front of my screen, I just think his analysis, you can either watch it or you can listen to it, but I do think he does a very thoughtful job of giving us a bigger picture and showing out us how things are playing out on a world stage. Next, we have Konstantin with Inside Russia. Konstantin is committed. He is someone else I take as a role model as I launch my channel. He has also been doing this for a few years now, and he goes live almost daily, and he since the war began, and he is, as he says, inside Russia. Now, he has lived in the United States, speaks English, he speaks to a Western audience, and he shares the best he can with the restrictions and the risks that he takes in sharing what he does, but really gives us an up-to-date look at the impact of sanctions, just everything that an everyday Russian who, and I will say just someone who is well established and has a good career and a family and lives in Moscow and has family and grew up in the south of Russia and Rostov-on-Don, and just really takes us into his family, into his experience, into his perspective, and just again find him not only insightful but very consistent and very committed, and someone that if you don't already know about or follow, I highly encourage you to do so. And most of his lives are pre-scheduled, so you can register your interest and you'll get a notification when he goes live, which is typically at 4 o'clock Eastern time. And then I'm going to round out this top 5 with vladvexler. Now, Vlad is someone who was born and raised in Russia and now lives in London. And he has definitely done videos of why he will not go back, but has an enormous insight into Russian culture, Russian mindset, Russian history. He himself is a philosopher, and just I have gained so much better understanding of this sort of existential part of this conflict, and why the US and the West is so invested in the success of Ukraine in this conflict. So Vlad Vexler is another very insightful, very thoughtful, and very consistent creator who I very much enjoy his content. Now, this roundup is specific to creators who are from the US, from the UK, and from Russia, either living in Russia or outside of Russia, as opposed to Ukrainian creators, which I can also happily and will do another roundup of them. But this one, I just wanted to keep it to 5, and just 5 perspectives and channels that I have found to be particularly valuable, and I just would invite you to check them all out. The links to their channels are below, and many of their videos can also be found in my creator playlist, so that when I do see videos that I find particularly compelling or timely, I add them to my Ukraine content and news playlist.